that. Uh,
This is the gulag right now. They sent me to the gulag, and I was like, but wait, I have a podcast. Can't do that.
See, that's a good question. Is the gulag always hot, or can it be both cold and hot?
I think the gulag would probably be always hot, right? But then again, like I'm somebody who kind of enjoys the cold, but I know some people where the cold is literally hell. Like they feel like
Yeah.
they're dying. Like you're kind of in the middle, but I feel like you'd prefer to be hotter than colder.
I don't have much body fat on me, man. Like I can. You want to know the thing is, I can do the cold if I'm naked. If I'm naked, I think to myself, well, you can't be a bitch, so that's just
It becomes now it's a challenge. If I'm
yeah.
naked,
It's
it's a
different.
challenge.
It's different. It's like, bro, if this were at least for me, it's like if this were life or death, am I really just gonna sit here and shiver, or am I gonna
Yeah, no,
Wim
for
Hof
me with
this thing?
for me with the heat, it's like it's got to be by choice, right? Like if I'm like sweating my balls off and I have no answer for it, then I'm upset. But if, like but like I enjoy playing sports, or like I enjoy going into the sauna. I enjoy a nice day at the beach when the sun's on you. So
Yeah.
it's like if I choose for it to be hot and I start sweating, it's all good. It's when I'm sweating and I don't want to sweat, then I'm like, oh, this is misery.
I listen, I get you. It's also different because even if you have low body fat, if your metabolism is high, especially in the moment, yeah, you're gonna get a little hot, man. It's not always fun. At least this is my personal experience. I've never been even chunky. Like I have my metabol like personally, it's very quick, and if I wasn't working out and eating the way I was, I would just probably wither into nothing. I would never even get that like skinny fat, you know? I would just
Yeah,
wither.
yeah.
I would probably be like 135 pounds.
Oh, UFC ready.
Bro, I'd be so skinny. It's crazy.
For me, it's like, for example, I'm someone I don't sweat like often, and it takes me a while to start sweating. Like not like oh like not working out. No, like in general, like like I just don't sweat often. Like I'll feel
Hmm.
hot, but I just don't sweat that often. So my personal gripe versus the heat, it's the most uncomfortable thing. When it's like you're really, really hot and like you're about to break a sweat, but you're not breaking a sweat. That is the purgatory is the worst part for me. Because if I'm sweating, it's like, all right, whatever. I'm sweating. It is what it is. I'm hot. But if it's like that, damn, I'm not sweating just yet. But like, it is hot enough to maybe make me start sweating. That's my personal hell.
I'm cool with sweating. Like I'm the type of Dominican where I like the rain. I feel like those are some of the best days to do something. I want to be, a little wet, just it feels better. I don't know. What's your ooh? That's a good question. You know how like Avatar 1 is a firebender? Like he started off as a firebender. That was his first element, and he goes on to be the Avatar. Now technically, because Korra is the new first Avatar, she started off with water. What do you
Uh
think
huh.
your starting element would have been when you progress into becoming the Avatar? What's your first one?
I think I would have started with water.
Water.
Um, yeah, it's just the flexibility, like that that flexibility. Not just like by choice, but I also think personality type would probably
Mm-hmm.
be more like water. Like that's kind of more of my vibe than of a like. I don't think I'm like I guess explosive. Like I'll be explosive in moments, but I feel like everyone is. But I'm not consistently explosive enough to be a firebender. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
if I'm thinking about it like if like a personality test type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously you get what you get because you're born into it, whatever, but personality test wise, yeah. And I'm not as super carefree as an airbender would be, and I just refuse to be an earthbender. So
What's wrong with Earth?
no, earth is super cool, don't get me wrong, it just wouldn't be my first choice. That's all. Earth is cool. Like if I became an earthbender, fine, totally fine, I'm not gonna bitch about it. You give me the choice, oh, I'm bitching about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
All
for me,
right.
Earth doesn't really get super cool till you get to metal bending. That's when it really is like, oh, this shit's crazy.
But you want to know something? Is Earth at its simplest should seem like the most terrifying purely for the fact that if it's a battle of strength, because truly, when you take an aspect of a human, what is it towards each bending? I think towards Earth, it really is just about strength and what you learn along the way of strength. Someone one day is going to be like, if you fuck with me, not only will I cause an earthquake, I will raise a mountain out of here. Like, that's just a bigger scale of what they do at that point. You know what I mean? Like, things progress into. Are you caught up with My Hero?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're caught. Well, not the manga. I'm not. I gotta watch the next two episodes with Vanessa, but uh, the quirk the quirk singularity theory, where one day these quirks are gonna get so powerful that it's going to end humanity, possibly even the world. So as strong as the Avatar is, we've seen other, benders of one element get really, really strong. Like they're very strong. You know?
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, see, I totally agree with what you said about Earth. Definitely reminds me of strength, but like that right there symbolizes kind of me in a nutshell. Like I could be as strong as you want, or I could like one of my least favorite superpowers is super strength. Like that, I would never pick it. I'd rather be
Mm-hmm.
faster. I'd rather fly. I'd rather be invisible. I'd rather do all that. Like I'd like the thought more of if I'm an airbender and like, oh yeah, if I gotta kill you, I'm just gonna make sure you can't breathe. I prefer that than I'm gonna put you through a wall. Like that's just
Mm-hmm.
how I handle like myself. Like what I think is cooler and more impressive. Because maybe not in the avatar context, but like in life, and obviously genes play a big part of it, but you could always work to make yourself stronger. And like, but like making yourself stronger is a lot easier than working to make yourself smarter or working to make yourself, I don't know what we would put the other two, but you got what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So like uh, to me, like strength is never that impressive when it comes to like powers and shit.
I have to disagree with you there because I believe in everything recursively. So I believe, like, whatever element you start off with, you only see how to progress within your element. And this is something I was talking about limits. Like, no earthbender has ever become a waterbender, no waterbender has ever become a firebender. But if we want to talk about precursors, progenitors, look at how the world was running out of airbenders, so it just shitted out some more. Literally from a
Shit it out some more.
you know what I mean?
They
Everything
just popped them out.
everything always balances out in some way. So I think just because you can't see how strength can progress, again, it's all perspective. Like I would say I'm a airbender, but like that's my first element. I would rather be so carefree. I really resonate with Aang in terms of I get it. You could easily run away from your problems, but if you have this goal or this thing in your head where it's like you can do everything you want to do. You can go to Africa, you can even go to space, but I'm in your fucking head. You will never get rid of me. And that's your soul speaking. What is it trying to tell you? So don't run away from your problems. You can live carefree in a way where you keep doing the right things. And it's why, yin and yang isn't so yin and yang, at least for me. Because you have the whole there's darkness within the light and light within the darkness. But at the end of the day, at least the way we see it, it's still on a 2D scale. What does it look like when it transcends into 3D? Where is the gray? Is it the lining? Most people think that gray is probably the core of it all. Like right in the middle. It's the middle, it's the core. And some people even see it as the encapsulating thing. Like what is beyond God? And most people's God is black and white. They rarely see the gray, and even when they do see the gray, they often mistake it for the fact that yin and yang only shows the two, but in reality, it should show three. meaning that it is an incomplete picture by all standards. At least that's what I think. I could also just be talking nonsense. Like the whole calendar should be 13 months, but we're comfortable with 12, or some people found a problem like, no, technically, what do you do with the leap year day? And it's, well, you're not, evidently what you're saying is you're not thinking about it deep enough. If you think about it deeply enough, you'll probably come to an answer. Isn't that what mathematics and all like research kind of is? But sorry for
Yeah,
my ranting.
no, you're good. I agree. But there's always a part of me because of what comes with freedom. It's like, and it's something that's so important, in my opinion, when having philosophical conversations with people and stuff. Like you just said, like when you were saying, how you know, they could fix the months, but they're more comfortable, and that's a very important word because comfortability, like I can sit there and be like, I'm not comfortable with not knowing enough knowledge, or I want to know this, I want to know that, I think we should research this, whatever. But I can't, I will never judge someone if they don't want to, like, I'll never judge someone who refuses to learn more about something else because they're happy where they are. Like I'm not, like, if you're not happy, that's one thing. But if you're genuinely happy, let's say not being good at math, I'm not gonna sit there and force you to learn math. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. Like I feel like people like I feel like there's always a driving force as human nature, not just to better ourselves, but also to try to implement what values or better is in general towards other people. Like, like if you, Jason, if we were airbenders and I was like, dude, I want to learn how to use firebending. I
Mm-hmm.
really want to master all the elements. And you were like, nah, dude, I'm cool just being an airbender.
Yeah.
Like, that's not wrong. I
No, not
mean,
at all.
you want to do that? Do that. I don't care. And like, that's important. I feel like a lot of times that's what stops progression because the people who want to progress are so focused on the people who don't and see that as a negative thing. Sometimes people want to become the best of all time. Other
Mm-hmm.
times they just want to play the game. Like,
Yeah.
and neither of them is wrong. Sometimes they just want to get paid. That's fine. Sometimes they just want fame. That's fine too. I don't think any of it's wrong as long, again, as you stick to whatever, I guess, it changes with society, but whatever is, I guess, viewed as value in terms of morals and stuff like that. But of course, all that scales and changes throughout time, history, and reality. So I,
Mm.
so that's what it is for me. Like if someone wants to stay where they are and they're happy, I will never try to force them to progress. Just be happy. If that's your happiness is right there, dude. Do you? Like, so that's how I see it. So I think a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times that's what happens. I think, some people are always gonna just see the black and white and be happy with that, and that's okay. I don't think they need to go deeper because maybe it wasn't meant for them,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
It, it's it's kind of like this one joke I heard where this guy is Chinese, and at least where he's from, it's mostly Taoist and things like that. So he doesn't really know about Christianity, and he has this
Mhm.
guy explain it to him and say that, if when you believe in Christianity, when you know about the fact that hell and heaven exist, if you're not baptized, if you don't worship this God, like, if you don't pray and do these things, you're you're deemed to eternal hell. And the guy just looks at him and he goes, "So why would you tell me that?" So it's a
very, very factual. Yeah,
this so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's a
It's
matter
like, gee,
of
thanks, dude. Thanks for that.
exactly. Sometimes people aren't ready for that, and in a way, when I read books or watch some certain types of media, I go, "Is that what a curse is? Like, is that what these stories metaphysic, like in a you know philosophical level, are trying to teach people? Like, hey, literally, if someone speaking with enough conviction can create a perception of reality within somebody's head, then is that laying down a curse on somebody? You just limited them. Potentially, you made them think about something. Wow, what if this is real? It's like thought experiments. Like Roku's Basilisk. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh no.
Roku's Basilisk is an AI that Whether it's been made or not, that's up for a different discussion. But the thought experiment is we as humanity are coming to a singularity point where we create an AI that will destroy everybody who did not help in its creation. It's a very interesting idea considering the world that we live in, and that anything we say, not even technically, anything we say can come to fruition. It's the whole like, what's a prophecy versus what's destiny? You know, Jiraiya was told in Naruto. Sorry for spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen Naruto. I assume everybody
If you
knows,
haven't, you're a loser. Go home.
and go home and watch it. So
There you go.
if you don't want to hear this, skip this for like 30 seconds or so. Uh, but Jiraiya, he's a man who wanted to follow truth, and he was told that he would become a most pervy of sages and make a decision to pick a student who's going to change the world for better or worse. And in ways he thought he found that. He's just a man on a mission for truth. And truth, at the end of the day, is both objective and subjective based on perception. Whatever you're looking at can look like something else to somebody else, no matter what. It's all about literally time and space where you're looking, where you are understanding something. So, telling somebody about gray and maybe they're not ready for that. It's why I like media. It's why I like books, and I don't particularly like to listen to podcasts or anything like talking about philosophy because I want to see it told in a story. I feel like telling somebody in this fashion can in a way be more traumatic but not so upfront where it's oh wow, this person clearly got traumatized. And also, again, trauma, fucking, you know what I mean by trauma. Don't be a bitch. Don't be a pussy. All right, we still watch people fight and punch each other in the face. That's fucking traumatic. But you go back in there and you do it again. All for Sean
Yeah,
Strickland.
go watch Naruto.
Go watch Naruto. Fucking. But yeah, that's what I think about in terms of the gray. But we're gonna get started in 1 second. I just need to get Jagger to stop barking because I know they hear that on the mic, and then we'll get started. 1 second.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I mean, yeah, dude, that's very interesting. It's very interesting. Maybe if people want to hear us talk bullshit, we'll maybe one day record a philosophical conversation podcast, just talking nonsense. Because at the end of the day, none of it matters. We're all gonna die. Move past it. Um, but what was the first fight of the card? Let's get into the card, right? Um, so the first fight of the card, let me pull it up. So I think overall this event uh it's pretty good. In my opinion, it was pretty good aside from the finishes. And not the finishes that were actually finishes, I mean the decisions. I don't know why I didn't just say the decisions, but yeah, you get it. Man, listen, I have been known to call a few Dana White robberies in my day. Um, but the internet was pissed. There was a lot of quote unquote robberies. Listen, I'm a guy. Judge's decision is final. You'll never catch me saying, "Oh well, blah 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 blah, I won that fight," when they, in technicality, they lost. I don't do that. I deal in finality when it comes to this type of stuff. Maybe that person had a better performance. Maybe they should have won, but if they lost, they lost. Judges called it. Do with that what you will. That's how I like to roll.
I'm back, but what are we talking about? I wanna talk.
Oh no, I was just giving my thoughts on the event so far.
Yeah. So to recap
Yeah.
me, sorry for the people who are gonna hear it twice.
No, basically, it's quick. Basically, I was just going, talking about how like I thought the card was pretty good except for the decisions. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big like you know me, Jason. I'm not a guy who's gonna be like, well, this guy technically won like in my eyes, but the scorecard shows differently. Whatever. I'm a decisions are final. If he lost, he lost. That's how I view my like I MMA. That's how I rock. I don't want to hear it. But I was just saying like a lot of people on the internet were very very pissed because there was a lot of quote unquote robberies um, in this card,
Yeah.
and that's basically where I just took off from.
All right, let's start with the first one. Court McGee Tim Means. I didn't get to see that one. I
Hot
I
potato fight.
I already knew as I said, Court McGee was gonna win that one. So I
Court
also have our
McGee,
bets
yeah, I
pulled
mean,
up.
Yeah, the Court McGee won. Sub 3 minute mark. It was fine. It was a good performance. I mean, they both came. They were both going at it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know if I don't know what it was, but he just didn't look comfortable. Just in general, to me, the vibe I was getting from him, he didn't look comfortable. And yeah, I mean, two old men's lapping meat, and McGee won. Sub. It was a great sub too. Cool sub.
All right, all right, cool, cool, cool. Second fight, Carla Esparza, jeez, and Tisha Pennington. So, by
I
the way, I'm
loved
checking
this fight.
off. Yeah, I'm checking these things off. So we got Tisha Pennington right. You got Tim Means wrong. So,
Raw.
yeah. So we're gonna see. We'll see where this ends up. But yeah.
I really, really liked this fight. I caught me by surprise. I thought we were in for a Carlo Rose type of, to
Mm-hmm.
be pressed and just get through it. But no, this fight went to decision. But
Yeah.
like, it was a good fight. Like it. I mean, the first round, Carla had probably her most impressive round. She had, you knew what she was gonna do. She got her takedowns. She was really working on the floor. Really nice ground and pound here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, round two, Tisha started to get back in the groove. I gave her round two there. And yeah, she was piecing her up a little bit on the feet, doing a lot better at takedown defense and just not giving up. Tisha did a
Mm-hmm.
really good job where I don't think there was a moment she stopped bucking.
Yeah.
Like she was bucking the whole time, and it was awesome. It was like you could tell the gas tank was there, she was there, they were in it. Round three, which is the round of debate. So I'm gonna tell you how I watched it.
Okay.
Tisha's destroying Carlo with leg kicks. I mean, like, it was looking bad. But
Mm-hmm.
then Carla did a thing that she never does, Jason. She was like, you know what? Fuck this. That's literally what it looked like. She looked like, I'm going to go in now. And she took her down. She was throwing massive elbows. She was like, she was doing a lot more forward pressure than I think I've ever seen her do in a fight. It's like you could tell she was retiring. She like obviously we knew, but you could tell she felt it. She's like, this is my last. I'm gonna give it my gut. I'm gonna give it all I got, and she really did. And it was really really incredible to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so first 2 minutes, Tisha leg kicks, right? But then Carla really controlled the rest of the round. I think in this is where people got mad. She took her down, and Tisha barely got up or ever got up again. She kind of fucked her up on the ground, and um, no real
I saw
sub
some
threats, but
highlights like that.
yeah, no real sub threats. But I mean, dude, look at the highlights. The fucking elbows she was trying to throw was
Yeah, I
incredible,
saw those.
incredible.
Vicious.
And then near the end of at the end of the fight, something that's very interesting, and like they made it a point in commentary, and like I was like very very happy for Carla is like because people thought she got robbed in decision. Tisha won by decision if you didn't know because people thought that she got robbed. They were booing the fuck out of Tisha, and then Carla finally got her moment in the sun, and everyone was cheering her, which she's never had in her career, pretty much. So it was like a nice send off. But hey, man, like people were pissed. People were pissed. I know DC and Rogan both thought Carla did enough to win, but Rogan is most of the time, cracked out, and then DC doesn't count because he's in love with wrestlers. So I don't know. I think is it a robbery? I actually don't think it's a robbery. I think Tisha won. I think
Mm-hmm.
Tisha won. It was very. I think it was very close. I think the bullshit about it was someone gave her, if I'm not mistaken, someone gave her a 30-27 round, which is ridiculous. There's no way that happened. One judge was on straight crack.
Yeah.
Drake cracked out. Um, but yeah, I think Tisha won. I think it should have been Tisha by split, and that's my personal opinion. Jason.
All right. Third fight, Ryan Spann, Ovince St. Preux. I caught this one at the last 30 seconds, which is the only 30. It's the only time that counted and mattered.
The Superman fight.
Yeah, one perform. Yeah, so American Black Superman beat Haitian Black Superman, and I just I feel like the odds on that one should have been not only wider, but I think that was a clear. I think that was the lock of the card. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think
I
I'm
don't. I didn't
pissed at
see Owens
myself.
winning in any possible way. That was the lock of the card.
Def- Definitely pissed at myself because I thought Span's sub was live and didn't bet it because I'm an asshole. No, I did bet it, but I
Mm.
did a double chance. I did Ryan
Yeah.
KO or sub. And hey, listen, but the double chance gives you the luxury of the double chance, but god damn did that slash my odds. I wish I would have just took it at sub, but hindsight's 2020. Great fight, kind of. OSP, like I told you, watch, he's gotta go. Like, you know,
Yeah, it's
his,
over. It's over,
he's done.
man.
He's done. But Ryan Spann, dude, if he continues to show up this way, they've said it time and time again. He's a guy that has it all. He's just gotta be consistent. That's his kryptonite.
Hmm.
Kryptonite is just gotta be consistent, and hopefully he keeps showing this consistency, and hopefully he has a follow up performance like this.
All right, I like that. And all right, now getting to the meat and potatoes of it.
I'm
Definitely
gonna
got to
let
talk
you
about.
handle this whole fight. I'll only speak at the end. Go
All
ahead.
right,
This is all
okay.
you. You were vibrating on the couch
This
on Saturday.
was this was a middleweight bout, the first fight of the prelims. We're done with the early prelims. Now we're on to like, all right, some good fights. And now that depends on your definition of good. So let's try to list some. We're not going to list all, but there's different types of martial arts. We have boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, judo, sambo,
Sumo, my
taekwondo,
favorite. Sumo,
Krav
my favorite.
Maga, and we'll end it there because this was impressive. I think the only person who could
This
have
was
done it
impressive.
better was Chris Weidman or John Jones because Cesar Almeida hit Igor Pateria with a 1-2 eye poke dick punch combo. That's day one Krav Maga. And we have to
Elite.
celebrate Almeida for being an absolute tactician, understanding where the weak points are on the human body. Just boom, dick
Absolute
punch.
tactician.
So the ref, oh, that's actually sorry. Besides me glazing Cesar Almeida with all the Caesar dressing, the ref, how do I put this? Was who's a goat? Who's a goat? We have Mark Goddard, Herb Dean, Big John McCarthy's a guy. He retired. Other guys who retired or fired, Mario Yamazaki or Steve Mazzagatti, and I don't know. He's looking like he's gonna go in the Hall of Fame of worst refs that has ever refed the fight. At least professionally, we can't even count amateurs. That's a given. But professionally, dog, I shit you not, he hits him, eye poke dick punch, didn't care about the eye poke. Next up, start the fight, boom, eye poke again. Clearly we gotta take a point. No point, keep fighting, don't be a pussy. Alright? And you would think 3 strikes you're out. That's gotta be disqualification. And I guess I'm losing words to say here that you actually have to watch this fight to believe what was happening. This could have been a WWE bout. It was so like it wasn't even a bad fight. That's the thing. Pateria, I wish he won. Like if you're gonna have a guy disrespect you by poking you in the eyes 3 times, dick punching you, holding you up against the fence, not only that, but every time he had him on the ground, they're grappling, he's literally shoving his fingers in his eyes. This dude has to be one of the dirtiest fighters that has ever. This is right under the dude who bit the other guy at the Apex. I can't remember their names, but the biting incident. This has to be right under it. Second place, dirtiest fucking fighter who's ever fought in the UFC. That is ridiculous. And I guess the ref had money on him because he went minus 395 odds. Yeah. I don't know. Go ahead. I said my
you
piece.
also missed out. You also missed out on the because again, you know more of the technicals part, so you'll be able to really give like a good explanation for this.
Mm-hmm.
But me as a more casual, non-technical viewer, um, it did feel weird that he kept separating them. I felt like 3 or 4 times, and I was just like, okay, what's going on here? Why is this happening? And he's like, oh, because they're not working. But I'm clearly watching this dude throw knees. I thought that was enough. I felt lied to. I felt cheated at this point. Um, I felt lied to. So maybe if you could give a little bit of a breakdown as to maybe why that's justified or why it wasn't, and then I'm gonna give you an update on the ref after.
So I I forget what organization it was, but it happened in Russia. And if I find the video, I'll put it up on the screen. If I don't, just look it up. Um, the, this it's incredible. Uh, the fighters were stalling so badly in this fight. We'll get to that other fight, the stalling fight. But the fight was so bad. The dude, the promoter, came into the octagon, said, "Stop. We're done. Get the fuck up. Get the fuck out of my cage." That would like. I'm not having this. I'm actually. You know how awesome it would be to actually have Dana White walk into the octagon and just to make a statement of, you know what I'm not gonna have here? Bullshit. You can take this and you can go to the PFL. Matter of fact, they just bought a dying organization. Look at that, a leech off a leech. Go from go to Bellator, work your way up to the PFL, and maybe you'll make it to one. Yeah, that other organization. Go let go see how that works out for you. Okay, but you're not fighting in the UFC anymore. There, Connor said, "Let there be a stalling clock." No, I think you have Dana walk in, put his nuts on the canvas, and say, "Get out of here, get out of here." You're getting your final paycheck in the mail, and you're lucky you're getting your show. I'm being such a dick. Don't take me seriously, please. But I'm just saying what I would do. What I would do if I was Dana White in the UFC, right? Tell me what I would do. But yeah, fuck this fight. No, that shouldn't have been happening. Separating them, that was absolutely ridiculous. There was no need for that. I agree with Joe Rogan. If the fight ends on the ground, start them on the ground. Start them in the same position. It's one fight, not 3 fights. The fact that we're even getting a break, I personally think is crazy. 100%. No time. You fight until there's a finish. And I understand how that can be bad, but that's why we have some sort of penalty, steep penalty. Like, you're done. You're fucking cut. I don't care what it is. You are not stalling here. You are fighting or you are leaving. That's me personally. So, Austin Hubert,
Yeah,
Alexander Hernandez.
Wait.
Yeah,
I
go
want to
ahead,
give
go
you an
ahead.
update on the ref. So according to Essentially Sports,
Okay.
basically they're saying that according to veteran journalist Kevin Lowell or Io, sorry,
Iola,
Dana White
probably.
took swift action and relieved the ref from his work for the night and ushered him out of the UFC 307 pay-per-view event in Salt Lake City right after the fight. Kicked him out. Go home.
I feel like that falls into in a nah, dark. Never mind. Sorry, my head went in a dark place. Anyways,
I was in
yeah,
a
good.
dark
I'm
place
glad.
watching this fight. I was
Yes.
in a dark place watching this fight.
Oh man, I'm gonna go grab a seltzer really quick.
I poke a
Talk.
dude who's literally
Uh huh.
fucking for like a plus 300 underdog against you, and then be happy at the end of the fight. Yeah, I don't. Uh, Whatever. I'm fading Almeida till further notice for the rest of my life.
Talk. I'm gonna go grab a seltzer. Talk about Austin Hubert Hernandez because I didn't see too much. I only caught a round and a half, like literally half of the second and the third, and I'm thirsty, so I'll be back.
Nah, yeah, you're good. Only problem is I didn't watch this fight much either. You know, Hernandez needs to keep pushing because I don't know, man. It's like even if he won now, right? He still lost to Damon Jackson. Like it's just like when he some of the losses he's had is just like, what are you doing, man? But then he goes out there, he puts on a solid performance, whether you think he won or not. He
Uh
put in a
huh.
solid performance. Um, but he's just a weird guy. Like I really don't even know what to say about him. It just feels like okay, he won this split, and then what are we gonna see next time? I think the most interesting part about this fight, again, which is probably why so many people are
Mm.
yelling robbery, is there was a judge who gave it 30-27 Hubbard, which is very interesting.
That was a
Very interesting.
weird. I don't think you can say 30. So, listen, 2 rounds, maybe, I guess, sure. Depends on how you score a round. Evidently, these judges didn't know how to do that because in the very next fight, we had another split decision. Marina
Oh wait!
Rodriguez.
I was telling the people how
Hmm.
when you came in and caught the last round and saw some of the highlights, you were pissed. You thought Hubbard got robbed.
From what I
Um,
saw, he was winning the second. At least that's what I saw. I came in literally at like 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And Hernandez was landing shots, but I think for the most part, Hubert was getting out of the way. And that third round, it's a little, you know,
and that might be
tagging
how
each other.
fighting works.
I
It might be how fighting works.
don't know. It
You
might
get
be.
out of the way sometimes.
Um, I
But yeah,
I
this fight,
I kind of
this is
watched
a
it. I
fun one.
kind of watched this fight. I was still a little unpresent because this is when I was prepping to. Actually, I was prepping to have food ready for the main card during both of these fights. But I caught it for the most part. I got the important parts. Marina Rodriguez, for the most part, I think had better hands. Luciendo was just she had to hold her on the ground. That's what I
Yeah.
saw.
No, you're right. That was the fight. That was the fight. Like that was it. And I was when I'm watching this dude, I'm fucking hyped because I'm like, holy shit, my Lucindo fucking sub plus
Mhm.
900 is looking crazy great right now. But then the sub never came. The girls never came. They never
Yeah.
came. Um, Another one people were pissed about. A lot of people thought Rodriguez won. She was definitely the better striker tonight or
Hmm.
that night. Was definitely piecing up Lucindo. Lucindo had a couple strong shots here and there. Like she had. It wasn't like a slouch. It wasn't like she was just a bot out there. But
Yeah.
I mean, this is one that I would disagree with. I do think Marina had won this.
Hmm.
Um, but when the judges gave it to Lucinda, I was like, all right. I mean, yeah, sure.
Fun fact:
I
it's interesting that Marina Rodriguez spells her Rodriguez with a Z, considering she's from Brazil and they speak Portuguese, which it would be with an S.
I also think it's interesting because I forget who it is. But you know how like in
Hmm.
Brazil the R's are pronounced as H's. You
Yes,
know,
Haja.
right? Uh,
Haja.
I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's
It's
fucking
cool.
hilarious.
I
No,
I
no,
really
I think
like
it's cool.
Portuguese. Yeah.
No, it's cool, but I think it's fucking hilarious
It's
when a
African
British guy
Spanish.
tries to do it. No,
It's
but when a British guy tries to say it, it's fucking hilarious. It's like if
yeah.
you on YouTube, British guys trying to pronounce Brazilian names properly. It's fucking hilarious. Um, and that's my takeaway from that.
All right. Last fight on the prelims. Performance of the night bonus for Joaquin Buckley. That feels weird. If you're gonna give him a bonus, I guess. And no, because the Pajeda knockout. Yeah, you can't even get. I don't think Buckley should have gotten a bonus, but that's just me personally. But if you have to give him out, yes, considering this card, he was one of the most deserving of a bonus, and that fight just made me sad. This is dude. What you saw that knockout, that was like you said, Javi. It's just age. That's all it
Yeah,
is. It's just
what I'm
age.
telling you, great for me. It was only great fight.
It's
Both
a
the
great
guys were
fight.
in there. They're both
Great fight.
throwing. Thompson's doing his thing. He's stuffing the takedown. He's doing his thing. Buckley, crazy pace, crazy energy, just
Mm-hmm.
like a dog out of a cage, bro. Just all over him. Thompson's kind of backpedaling a little bit, but karate style, he has to do that anyway. And it was an awesome fight. It really was an awesome fight. And Thompson's eating some shots, right? Buckley's
He
eating
took
some
some
shots.
shots, man. He really did take some good shots.
Yeah. And
Until
I'm
he
looking at him,
didn't.
I'm like, damn, like these guys they're going to war. And I saw, bro, I'm telling you, I saw it like in slow mo when Thompson gets clipped.
Mm-hmm.
He gets hit by a hit that 5 years ago he would not have taken. It was just age. Like it's
Yeah.
I not taking anything away from Buckley. Great performance. Great performance. Not taking
Mm-hmm.
anything away. But watching the fight, watching that fight back, seeing Thompson, there's he looks good most of the time, but then
Mm-hmm.
those moments where he looks old, he looks really old. You can tell. You're like, man,
Mm-hmm.
he's 41. He
It
feels
yeah.
41.
I have to say, I don't, I can't even say I slightly disagree with you. It's more so that it was that position he got caught in was
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't the same as the Pettis knockout, but the thing you can attribute is it was against the fence. And when you think about when Wonder Boy's been hurt before, it's always closer to the fence. And he's been caught in the middle before. You know, you have Tyron Woodley. He did catch him in the middle with one shot, I believe, in the second fight. But for the most part, when he gets hit, and again, he would have taken that shot. He took Woodley shots, and Woodley hits a lot harder than Buckley. Buckley has to leap into these shots. Woodley just had dynamite, dude. He was launching missiles at your head, and the fucking front of it was his fist. Hold on. I muted myself for that
Yeah.
burp. Yeah, just I. If it went to decision, I think Steven Thompson would have won it. But I felt, yeah, I felt it that that's why I put a bet on it. You know, we gotta make it known our picks, who we really want to win versus what our bets are gonna be. There's
Yeah.
two
I
different
also
things.
think, yeah, I also think with Buckley is like, again, it was what impressed me the most. Uh, it was the gas tank of that energy. I mean, this guy wasn't landing takedowns, and it didn't stop him from trying to land takedowns. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And like, he didn't give a fuck. You know, he attempted 7 takedowns. He got 4 of them, but not really. Like we were talking about on Saturday, Jason, not doing anything with him. He literally would take Thompson down. Thompson work his way back up. I'm saying another like 10, 15 seconds.
yeah.
But Buckley's pace, just overwhelming, just pressure, 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 pressure. To me, was like probably the biggest difference maker in this fight, and then Thompson's age.
Yeah.
But you know, hey, time beats everyone. Can't beat time. So
Um, Speaking of time, this one went to a decision, unanimous. Kayla Harrison. I think.
told you.
Listen, yes. Um, I think from what we saw though, yeah, Kayla Harrison can definitely win the belt. Considering in the future we ended up seeing the title fight, but and not impressed by the call out. Like you said something, yeah, but and we'll get to call outs with the other woman fight, but
Oh wait, fuck. We forgot to mention
what?
Buckley's call out. Buckley's
Oh
call out. He had a
yes,
crazy call out.
Usman. I like it.
Yeah, Buckley
I
calling
like
out
that.
Usman. I love it.
I
I
love
love it.
it.
Grab the
That's a
bull by
great
the
fight.
horns, man. That's a
100%. That's
great
a
fight.
great
That's a
fight.
great call out too.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely because he knows he beats Usman. Tip. Done. I don't want to hear it. Put me in the tip.
He at this point, high likelihood he beats Usman. High likelihood. Not gonna lie.
We'll see. We'll see, man. I mean, I gotta see Usman training again. I gotta see what he's like. I have to. You know how I feel about people when they're able to bounce back, and we haven't seen it from Usman. So I gotta see. I gotta see. We'll see. Um. So yeah, sorry, that was a call out. For the Kayla Harrison fight, she dominated, but she should have gotten a finish. This is Bo Nickel all over again. But
I
Bo
mean,
Nickel
Bo
actually got the
Nickel's
finish.
finishing. Bo Nickel finished.
Wait, let me finish. But Bo Nickel actually got the finish, and fans were still mad because it wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, that is actually kind of insane when you really think about that.
But like this is what like on fucking X and the media perception, you would have thought Bo Nickel did this fight. That like the way they treated him was like what Kayla Harrison's performance was on Saturday. But
Yeah.
no, you look back and he's like, wait, he still got a fucking finish in round 2, if I'm not mistaken. Like, why are you mad? You got the finish. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
never enough.
It's never enough. It's never enough. This next one sucked. Probably, it definitely fucked up a lot of people's parlays. I did have my.
This motherfucker single-handedly busted 3 of my parlays. I hate him, and of course he wins. And you know why he wins? Because he needed to make Anthony Smith look better. Fucking ass. Damn.
Ah man, yeah man. That Roman Daladze, this guy, Hey, can we put this guy and we'll talk about can we put this guy in the DDP column?
Probably.
I
I think
think
I think we can.
like he did lose to Imavov, but it was a majority decision. That's the craziest part. And I don't know, but at the same time, he's lost to Vittori, beat Hermanson, beat Hawes. I mean, Hawes has he ever? He was never elite. So either way,
Listen,
yeah, Kevin Holland, the broken rib sucks.
my I felt bad for Kevin Holland because of the rib. The
Yeah,
fight, I think the fight was kind of playing into his favor a little bit.
it
Like,
was.
not saying he was fully winning. I still think the Lindsay had the upper hand, but
Uh-huh.
it's how Holland would have wanted the fight to go. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I think he could have maybe won, but I mean, Jason, I'm kind of off the Kevin Holland train, man. It's like suck. I like him, but it's like, come on,
You
come
are.
on.
You know what? I am gonna probably have to agree with you on this one. I think. Listen, he's always gonna be entertaining, no matter what. He's like a Nico Price now, almost. Not quite there.
Yeah, yeah.
Not quite there. I don't want to be just.
If
Listen,
he's
I
on the
love
card,
Kevin
I'm like,
Holland.
oh, nice, a Kevin Holland
Yeah,
fight. Cool.
he's not getting the chip. He's not.
Nah, the
Uh,
aspirations are done. He's lucky if I put $10 on him. Can't do it.
I
Not
now
doing it.
listen. Not quite Nico Price. Not quite Neil Magny. Like he there.
He's not there yet. One
Yeah,
more loss.
one more
He's in
loss
that
and he's
category.
one more. But I think he can still bounce back. Now I think he is in the same position that Kelvin was, and I think a lot of people who go up and down between 170 and middleweight, they just make this mistake, man. Uh, he should have stayed at 170. Buckley's even there. He's got a win over him. Look at what he's doing. Look at what you did at 170. Um, I think going up to middleweight was a mistake. I just don't. And now that he's gonna have to cut weight to get back down more after this broken rib, that's a
Yep.
serious
Yep.
injury. I don't know. I think he's in the Kelvin Gastelum position where he said, "I'm making the commitment." Fought Sean Brady, and it was like, "Oh yeah, your time has passed. It's done. You peaked
Yeah.
around the Whitaker
Yeah.
time. Like it's over. You can't come to 170 and be that guy who was super technical and had a little bit more size and you went out there with Tyron Woodley. Granted, you came in overweight, but it's. I think Kevin Holland might be in that same position. Sadly.
Yeah. It's sad, but that's fighting. Um, for the next fight. Now, for me,
Go ahead. Go
me
ahead.
personally,
Yeah.
this is my robbery of the night. If I'm gonna call anything a robbery, it's this. It's this for me. I just I felt like I watched a completely different fight. I'll be honest. That was me. It's another split fucking decision.
Yeah.
Crazy how many goddamn split decisions we got on one card. But I don't know, man. I thought it was Aldo. I thought it was a layup. Like I'm watching it. I thought he won. I was like, all right, decision should be majority decision. We're good to go. Let's next fight. And then Bautista won by split, and I'm like, what the fuck? But again, I happily will admit to being casual. So
You're
that's
not
it.
a you're
Maybe I
not a
just
cat,
figured.
my guy. You're not a casual for this.
Hey,
We
hey,
actually we need to have a discussion. Not only a discussion, we need to come to a consensus as an MMA community. No matter how much people want to be outliers and contrarians like myself, at certain points and troll and whatever, just fucking say shit to say shit. Sometime you got to hear the bullshit between the lines. And it's why we got to do our bet picks versus our picks from the heart. Uh, I
Tell me
said
what
it.
you saw in this fight. Tell me what you saw in this fight, Jason.
What I
Break it down.
saw, what I saw was a hoe who has a Bible quote on their body, and that hoe would be Mario Batista talking about death before dishonor. What's dishonorable is you acting like you won when you had to hug a 40-year-old man. Not only that, let's judge the fight. Let's look at it. If we were just quote unquote casuals, that's at the end of the day, you have to consider it to some degree. And in this scenario, holding somebody against the wall does nothing. You are holding them. If I'm hugging it's like if I were tickling somebody. Are they really winning the fight, or is this no longer a fight? Are we just hugging? What are we doing here? Because
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know
zero for
when you
0 for 11, 0 for 11 takedowns. You did nothing at that
when did
point.
we get to
Mhm.
when did we get away from damage based sport? I don't know.
It's not
Like,
even just that. It's not even just. It's the fact that if we're gonna go 11 takedowns, okay, cool. You got none of them. Who do we actually score that for? Not for the guy who's being aggressive. You did no damage in the attempted takedowns whatsoever. What Jose Aldo did was produce damage when you were trying to take him down, or even along the fence. He hit you more than you hit him in the majority of the contest. So if you go 0 for 11, you don't just get the round. You don't get the sprinkle on top, the gravy on the biscuits, because you did a quote unquote little bit more than the other guy. That's not how it works. If you're hugging somebody on the playground, no one thinks you're winning the fight. The guy who's winning the fight is when you're in the middle trading hands, trading feet. It's the guy who's getting hit the least against the guy who's getting hit the most. And Jose Aldo hit Mario more than he got hit. Let's judge it there. I judge the takedowns, the takedown defense, greater at this point. Take defense into account at this point. Defense has to matter. Look how everybody was in awe of Alex Pereira's head movement, right? He gets points for that. So what about Jose Aldo? What about people who stuff the takedowns? What about people
and
who
we got to stop giving people points when they take people down or they clinch them or they're throwing little pillow shots and giving them points. Like, dude, if you take me down, let's say you take me down 10 times and I get up every time and you have combined under a minute of control time with 10, like, what, how is that points? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, if Jason, if you like punched me 10 times and I didn't even blink, but I punch you once
Mm-hmm.
and stagger you, the one punch is more important than the 10 little ones. Am I wrong? Is that crazy? I don't know. I don't know. This fight really got really got on my nerves. Like yeah, that
It's
I hated it. I hated it.
Listen, damage comes above everything. It comes above everything. But it's not even we can't have stalling. It's literally stalling. This is why people don't watch gi jiu-jitsu, because it's so easy to get a grip that you can lock down on and not let the match progress. That's exactly what Mario Batista did. Again, a hoe with a Bible quote on her ribs. Death before dishonor. Listen, dude, you could have kept the tattoo if you just went, I didn't win that. What I did was survive. What I did was get to a decision, and I knew the judges would score it a certain way. That's what actually happened. Be honest,
Or
not
just
only with yourself, but with everybody else. You love it when people you can't say, oh, well, he's got to do it for his psychology. And what is he supposed to say? He lost? Yes, actually. Everybody would have had way more respect. Instead, everybody's telling him to go to the PFL. So,
or just be fucking just like I listen. I'll never force someone to say that they lost. But there's ways you handle losses. You're not. Don't go out here and celebrate and act like you fucking knocked the dude out. Be like, damn, that was a bad performance. He didn't make the call on the judge. It's not his fault that they gave him the win. But
mm.
own up to your fault in it, which was it was a bad fight. It was a bad performance. You need to do better. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you know.
Bellator's calling your phone right now. Why are they calling?
Oh,
Because you're a free agent.
they're spam calling. They're just please,
Please
please.
answer. We need people. Um,
Uh, Jose Aldo be fine. Give him another
yeah,
fight.
yeah. Give him another fight. He's like in the Marlon Moraes position where he clearly won that fight, and it's the fact that he even can compete at this point in time shows you something. But yeah.
Yeah, and
Uh,
for the two old guys on the card, or I guess the two older competitive guys on the card,
mhm.
he looked better than Thompson, in my opinion. He looked slick. He didn't look 40. So
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I give a slight edge that Jose
Yeah, I'm
looked a
not
little
saying
bit bad.
Thompson looked
Yeah, but
bad by any means.
Thompson
I'm just saying Aldo looked better.
slight edge. Like he didn't. Again, the chin part is what solidified it. But all right, co-main event: Raquel Pennington, Juliana Pena. Ah.
Another fucking split decision.
Another
Is this
potential
a
robber.
surprise?
I listen. I picked Pena, but if I could have traded at least for my parlay picks, I don't know. I still would have lost one, but I would have traded the Aldo for Pena. If I could have negotiated with the MMA gods, I
You
would have
could have
had
talked to the
Aldo.
judges and been like, "Listen, I'll take Aldo. You take Pena. What's up? What's up?"
Yeah, we can make it. We can have a compromise here. Like I don't know. She called out Amanda Nunes, and I don't have much to say on the fight besides the beautiful knockdown. Listen, Raquel Pennington, what she did show is why she is a champion because she comes on in the later rounds and she kind of went, listen, if this is a tough bitch
Yeah,
contest, I'm a tougher bitch than you are.
she
You're a
really
fake tough
heated up
bitch.
near the end.
Yes, she
I
did.
thought
Dropped her in the
I thought the
fourth.
first two I thought the first two rounds were fucking boring. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then it really heated up, and I found myself really getting into it. And
Yeah, slow burn.
and I'm not a big fan of either of these performers, so that speaks volumes. That those are my favorite fights. When I'm like, I don't like these people, but then I'm like surprised and hooked in. That tells me, like, damn, I'm overlooking them,
Mm-hmm.
and they're there for a reason, and I like that. I like that feeling. So I with this fight, I ooh, yes. Pennington just came up like a beast near the end.
Mm-hmm.
And Julia Pena, listen, okay, she won, sure. You got whatever, but I just feel like enough with Nunez, man.
Yeah, just let her be retired. I don't want.
It
I
just
don't
feels
really
like she's
care.
obsessed. Like it just feels
Yeah.
so weird. It's like
Yeah, just fight Kayla
you're
Harrison.
champ, dude. Shut up.
Just fight. Yeah,
Like
just fight Harrison. It's fine. And
yeah, just go
Harrison's
get
taking
mauled by
that L.
Harrison.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
Harrison's
get
taking
mauled by
that L.
Harrison. Let's move forward. Yeah.
Uh,
No, but
mm-hmm.
great finish. Great ending to the fight. Very exciting down the
Yes.
stretch.
Warmed us up
Would
for
you
the
say
main event.
robbery? Would you say
Yeah,
robbery?
I give it to. I can't say it's a clear robbery. It's if you want to argue, I'm willing to listen. But I really do just I had Pennington winning that fight. I don't do the whole the later rounds count, and it's not about the later rounds counting again. Damage, who was closer to finishing the fight? Like the time span that it happens matters, yes, and the whole playground rules of well, when the teacher breaks you up at the end, it's like, well, the teacher was breaking them up. It's how you score the end of the fight. Just you got to score it as a whole, like as if it were one whole big fight. But I have it. Yeah, I had it 3-2 for Pennington. It was two
I
two going
also
into
had
the
it
fifth, and Raquel won the
I
fifth.
had it 3-2 too, man. And
Mm,
I think for me, I would have gone Pennington, but this is not a robbery.
yeah.
Okay, now I don't think it's a robbery. I think
Mm,
it's what the name says. It's a split decision. I'm not mad someone's picking Pena. Like I saw them.
yeah.
I get it. I get it. I just don't agree with it, and that's okay.
Yeah, if it were a draw, I mean, okay, I don't really see how it could be. See, that's the thing. The scoring system doesn't allow for draws enough, and I think that is a shame because yes, draws are a weird gray area, but again, sometimes you're like, yeah, fuck it, it's a draw. Let's get a rematch going. I think that can be exciting. Uh, I don't know. I think the scoring system needs to be, open to more draws. I don't know how you would do that. I haven't spent enough time thinking about it, but I think you need to open that possibility up.
Yeah, I also think you should, in my opinion, I don't know how much. Listen, I'm not a judge. Never have
Mm-hmm.
been. I don't think I ever will be. But I'd be very interested to see how they score knockdowns because from what I've been watching, especially as of recently, it feels like they don't score them enough, like rate them high enough.
Yeah,
I
it's
could be wrong. But to the
ah.
eye test, that's what it feels like. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Um. Well, considering knockdowns, hey, first dude who knocked down Alex Bejeda at 205, Khalil Roundtree Jr. Dude, this I think the people who didn't give him enough credit going into the fight are the people who didn't see the Eric Anders fight live, because I saw when Khalil got knocked out by Johnny Walker. I remember the whole Johnny Walker hype train, but nobody was gonna pay attention to Khalil after that, except for the fact that he really did what everybody else says they would do. Of, I am going to come out a different fighter in my next fight. Like, oh, you think I'm this? No, I am this, and I'm this for this fight. This dude was bouncing on his toes. Muay Thai landed, I think, the most leg kicks ever in a UFC light heavyweight fight, or maybe even the whole UFC. Uh, Dropped Anders. Oh my god, what, like 5 times? It was crazy. But yeah, see, after seeing that fight, knowing a little bit about his story, even back then, about how he was obese and he was smoking, and this is the change that he made, I knew that this guy could really be something. Like, he being formally fat is one of the best bases for MMA. Look at Jared Cannonier. Look at Paddy Pimblett at one point in the year, and then at a different, at a, who else was formally fat and slimmed down? Derek Lewis? No. I don't know. Either way, um
I
yeah.
think.
What's up?
No, go ahead. Finish. I thought you had finished. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, just Khalil Roundtree, amazing job. Like, what an amazing job he did. But as I think he thinks, second place, it's not the prize for him. And he's not this guy who's like, his dream aspiration was to become UFC champ. He's just a guy based off pure talent and mindset. Just got to the highest level. He really did. He did this to lose weight, to get in shape. And this is where he got. That's impressive, you know?
Hmm. Hmm. I think Khalil's story. I tweeted this too. Um, Nice story, but goddamn, did the UFC dodge a bullet? Pereira loses this, they're in trouble. Stars are dead. Um, Khalil, great story, great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Made a fan out of me after watching this performance. I didn't watch a lot of his stuff, but I just loved how gritty he was. He was in there, he was trading, he was getting cut up, he didn't give a fuck. He was just a man. That was a man's fight. That was a fight's fight, you know. And but again, with Poetan, man, he just especially in that fourth round. Remember, I was losing my mind. He was just showing levels. Like, his boxing was going ridiculous. Like, he looked ridiculous. Like, I mean, dude, look at strikes. Look at the strikes comparison, Jason. The strikes comparison, 129 to 62.
Yeah.
Poetan landed over 60% of his strikes, dude. He literally was straight up bobbing and weaving and just pop, pop, pop. Little two-piece, three-piece combos. Pop, 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 pop. Till he just caught him. And
Yeah.
like, it was an incredible performance. It was an incredible performance. And I will give Khalil this because I think he deserves it. This is the most that I've seen boxing wise Alex had to work. Boxing wise. I'm not saying toughest fight, anything like that. I'm saying boxing wise, this is the most I've seen Alex had to work. He really had to start feinting. He really had to start dodging, rolling more with his punches than usual. Like, we really saw a lot of impeccable defense from Alex, which you usually do, but not to this level, not this often, not for that long. You know? The volume that
Mm.
these guys were fighting at, the clip, the pace, everything about this. This is what you want out of a UFC main event.
Yeah.
And
It really was.
this
It
fight
really,
kind of
thank
saved the
God.
card.
Oh, it really
This
did.
fight kind
And
of saved the card.
we're gonna give our ratings actually, because that's something else I wanna take down for us. But yeah, dude, saving the card. This made up for the Marab Sean main event. Not gonna lie,
Yeah,
made up.
I
In,
agree.
in my opinion,
I
it made
agree.
up for it, because that was also
I agree.
kind of garbaggio. Congrats to both of these guys. That was an amazing main event. Truly, I think it was not only just fight of the night. Um, I think if it wasn't so bad of a card in a way, I think people would have really appreciated it more. I think people definitely appreciate it, and it's mostly because of the women's fight that like it warmed you up. It started off as you said like but by the end you're leaning forward, you're paying attention. You're like all right, and then as always, Alex Pajeda shows up. This man says he wants a break. Take the break, dude. Take the fucking break. And by break, he means he'll fight in January. Because
Yeah, right.
he says, I
Man,
need time, but time to him seems to. I don't know. I don't know how he's living, but.
I mean, you said it before. I don't know if you came up with it or if like you heard it before, but you were the first person I heard say it. Just speed running the MMA. That's what he's doing. That's what he's been doing. This guy.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He hasn't even been a UFC fighter for 3 years. He is what everybody. He's like when you first pick up basketball and you pretend you're versing Michael Jordan or LeBron James while you're shooting hoops by yourself. You're pretending you're going against the greats. You know, that's what he's
Yeah.
doing, but in real life. It's not even imagination. When Yuri and Adesanya both say that, bro, that black magic, that juju, like, is real. I agree with that in a way. Like if we consider whatever, spirit world or not, I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna pretend like I know what it is. But if the possibility is open, he really just has that DNA in him. And DNA is memory.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that DNA is universal memory. So, in some form or way, his ancestors are really holding this man up. Even the way he got dropped was like somebody picked him up by his arms, like, get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. You gotta win this. He came in sick. He was on antibiotics. You heard him coughing in between rounds, coughing in the embeddeds and, clearing his throat and all that type of stuff. This man was fucking sick. Like, I give him the same credit I give Islam, where listen, it's gross that you're showing up with staph infection, but you're also on antibiotics and depleted. Luke Rockhold, for some reason, hey, are antibiotics the best base for MMA in a title fight?
No, it's cocaine.
It's
It's cocaine. It's true.
And you know what? How are we ever gonna test this theory when we've only had one case? It seems like they only let him do it. Realistically,
I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. The next fighter to show up on cocaine is gonna be my favorite fighter. Mark it down.
new John Jones,
Okay.
new John Jones, new champ.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
listen, to use a Roman Reigns quote, I have the shirt. Life's not fair, and still.
And still.
That's Pereira. Life's not fair, and still. Another pay-per-view, another fight, and it ends with Chama.
Chama. Let's I'm gonna count this up and then we'll end this. So 307. I personally rate it, considering it had the main event and the co-main event. I give it a 5.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
I'm gonna give it
I'm
a 6. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that, but without that main event, I would have gave it a 5. Straight up.
I'm gonna give it a 6 because of all the split decisions. I know we were complaining about it, but I've actually never seen this many split decisions. It kind of blew my mind a little.
Oh, it happens every once in a while. Every once in a while.
And we got an all-time ref moment.
This is true Hall of Famer right there, man. Put him up with the greats.
All-time ref moment.
Up with the greats. So our picks. You got Tisha, Ryan, Almeida, Yasmin, Kayla, Pajeda. So you had 6 out of how many fights? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yep. So half. And I, as well, got half. Now, again, mid like this fucking card, all right? Average 5.5.
Like, for example, like if I wasn't, and this is why I'm glad that we're gonna starting next card, we're gonna start implementing this. Like if I wasn't straight up like, oh, just also picking people I like I could have been swayed or I could have been talked into Buckley. I like Buckley.
My main bet was Buckley. My main bet had Buckley.
You know I didn't like either, like off camera, off podcast. You knew I hated the Lindsay fight. I was like, dude, this is gonna be a shit show. And I think last minute we even switched one of our bets and put the Lindsay, if you remember. Last minute we took
Yeah, I
the
said it.
Lindsay.
I'm like, I just don't see Kevin Hart. I love him, man. I just didn't see it happening, truthfully. So,
Yeah, and then like ones where I'm confidently lost. Tim Means really thought he was gonna get it done, and then yeah, man, I felt pretty good about Hubbard. I really did.
yeah.
Hernandez, Damon Jackson's a bum, so I don't know, but whatever.
All right. Um, all in all, yeah. It's I think the next that next pay-per-view card, man. We're gonna have the jitters. I know I'm gonna have the jitters because I pray to the MMA gods, please don't sleep, Max. Please, please,
It happened.
please let
It happened.
Max. Please let Max win. I'm begging you, man. Like
It happened. He's winning.
Ilya lost all his cool points when he
Oh my
started
god, he's
calling
so
out
lame now. That's an
Connor and
all-time. Dude, that must be an
Canelo
all-time
and
drop in as the cook would say, aura. That was a
yeah,
lifetime
man.
all-time drop in aura. That was crazy how uncool he became.
That's Patty Pemblett level after the Jared Gordon fight, in my opinion. How the fuck do you beat Volkanovski? Impressively, yes, we're always gonna say he just got knocked out. We're always gonna say that. But technique, Volkanovski still put up a decent competitive fight up until that punch, and it's you know, uh, yeah, man, he really just nosedived in terms of if people care. So yeah, we're hoping Max gets it done. Max bias is crazy here. So, any
Bless,
any
come
any
bless
closing
me and
thoughts?
save me from UFC hell. Save me from UFC hell. It's all on you, Max. Herrera did his best. It's all on you now.
I know. I wouldn't have been mad at Khalil. I think people really would have loved Khalil as champ.
No, I think people would have gotten. Honestly, I think people would have came around to liking him,
Mm-hmm.
especially if he was a dominant champ, because he has such an electric style of fighting.
Yeah.
But come on, dude. People were gonna be pissed.
At least he's
It's really
never been
sad.
disliked. That's the beautiful thing, and yeah. So, any closing
Yeah.
thoughts?
Closing thoughts is Dana get better refs, get better judges. I don't know, bro. I'm taking this was Salt Lake, right? That was Salt Lake City. I don't even like Utah, dude. I don't like Utah. One of my
Yeah.
least favorite states. Um,
I've never been, so
no, never been either. Never been either.
Oh,
It's
okay.
one of the hardest ones.
Oh, okay. All right.
No. It was a beautiful event, but god damn it, they got to figure the judges or just Dana come out here and give us a full breakdown of how the scoring works. You know,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's fine. If the judges scored that correctly and you're happy with that, come out and explain it to us, and we're good to go. That's it.
Yeah. All right. And if you guys notice, Javi, I wanted to say this. Yeah, this is technically a new podcast we're doing. We're doing what do you want to call this? Discussions? Because we had a pretty, nice discussion at the beginning of this.
Um, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
We'll
I don't
workshop the
know.
name. We'll workshop the name. I mean, maybe in the comments, leave a terrible name for us to not pick. That'd be very useful. Um,
Still gotta technically give it a title because it's not Mixed Monkey Arts right now. It's
no, and like a lot of hate comments.
yeah, lots of hate comments. Please.
Absolutely.
If you want to know, Jason's super broke, and I get made fun of it sometimes by this one dude Ninja, and that's okay. I love you, Ninja, fucking asshole. But yeah, no, a lot of things to hate about us. We'll get. Listen, you'll see all the things that suck about us when you see our faces and skits more. And,
Yeah.
So.
Check us out at our socials, which is what? Because I never remember.
They're in the description. I'm glad you brought this up. So, as you guys, well, by guys, I mean the people watching, if you notice our descriptions, they're not all filled out. It's almost like we have this note in a shared folder on this iPhone ecosystem that I know Javi found. I'm not calling you out. That some of us have filled out what our socials are, and the other ones haven't. So it's going to continue to be like that until they do it. Okay, so follow the Lazy Wolf King. That's in the description. Follow Jason's Waff. What it is, gotta come find out.
lazyWK on X.
Yeah. So.
And yeah.
I hope I hope
Also,
they hear this. Tyler, when you edit this, put your thing in. Put your stuff in.
yeah. Also, catch our Twitch streams, and that's at what's the social?
We're at the Cucamongas on again. Everything's in this. Everything that is relevant in matters is in the description. All right. You want to follow us?
And
there.
For all you diehard UFC guys, come catch our non-UFC event. It's gonna be awesome.
A non-UFC event. Yeah, we still got. We gotta keep that under wraps. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen.
Make it happen.
We're dropping hints. I forgot. Yeah, Yeah, we got some big things planned. Some Cucamonga monkey stuff. Right?
Yeah. And it's totally going to be UFC related.
It's 100% UFC related. It's going to be all about fighting. And that's all I'll say. Right?
And I'm going to say it until it happens. Paulo Costa, you owe me an interview.
Wow.
Until it happens, you owe me an interview. We got things to talk about.
Okay. Hopefully he brings his translator. Because... Alright, guys. Love you all. Hate you all. Goodbye.
Take care.